But our last two series being...
You there?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
You're good. So our last two series being the Mets and the Phillies and the Padres and the Dodgers. The Mets and Phillies may have had the most exciting game this postseason with the Phillies comeback in game 2, I believe, when Harper and Castellanos went back-to-back. But like I said earlier, the Mets did just win, so they are 2-1 in that series. But you just can't count that team out. For a team that came down to the last day to get in the postseason, they're playing like they should be there.
Well, like we've talked about before,
crazy.
too, it's like at the deadline, they were, do we sell? Do we not? What do we do?
Yeah.
You know, we're on this little bit of whatever, a 10, 15 game win streak. They were on a run. They obviously made the playoffs. The team is good enough to do it. We know it. They have the people there. They have the people or the players or whatever there. It's just whether or not they can win it. Because obviously, like the Phillies are an amazing team.
Phillies are they're probably roster wise, they got
the
to be the
World
best
Series.
Them and like the Dodgers are by far best roster. But it's just one of those teams where it's like, again, can you get the production you need to get out of these superstars that you have? I don't, you should. But again,
you start talking about starting pitching with Zach Wheeler. He goes 7 innings scoreless. And then they lose that game.
100%, and they let it go.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also fun
That
though
can't happen.
because again, like we've talked about too, we don't. No one like. Well, I know Sam doesn't like Jesse Winker, but like Jesse Winker just has no pressure on him. He can go out there and he can be his obnoxious little cocky self because people are looking at Pete Alonso to be hitting home runs. People are looking at Lindor to do these things or Nimmo.
Pete Alonso is hitting home runs.
100%.
Which is crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, my point is still that like Winker has zero pressure. Like, yes, does he need to go up there and get a base hit? Yeah. But if Winker goes up there and strikes out 3 times a game, no one remembers it. But if Pete Alonso goes up there and strikes out 3 times,
I got you.
Pete Alonso lost the game. So the fact that Jesse Winker's just going up there relaxed and just hitting nukes and hitting balls harder than anyone right now is
crazy,
very impressive. And so it's an interesting thing to see these type of players and people that you said, like, who's going to step up? The Phillies have not been bad by any means. I mean, Harper and Castellanos and Trey Turner have been very good. The rest of the team is just not there right now.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Nick? Mets, Phillies.
I completely agree. I think the bullpens have to figure it out. If you're going to lock it down, it's a lot of late. The Phillies, I mean, you hit on the head with Wheeler. You can't lose that game. You can't lose that game.
No,
you can't lose that game.
Well,
and that could be the game that decides the series.
I mean, a 5-game series, it is crucial.
Yeah.
If you get 7 scoreless, you can't lose.
Throwing your ace, you're supposed to win that game.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. He might not come back around. If he comes back around, it might be too late.
Yeah, and it's going to be rushed off short rest. You have no idea what you're going to expect, especially if he throws in like a game 4.
5-game set like this,
yeah,
it's crucial. Crucial.
Yeah. Well, and the Mets starting pitching's been good. Like, they've been solid.
I think
Manaea
went into the 8th today.
He was in the 8th with only 91 pitches and got yeah. And like he's been good. And then whoever won their first game was it was
I think Senga.
It was
like
Senga.
2 innings.
Senga did. It wasn't like a bullpen,
it was a bullpen
but
game,
it was like
kinda.
it felt like a bullpen game because Senga was good, and then it was Peterson. I think that came in. And then it was just kind of weird.
Peterson.
Yeah. And then it was, I don't know, there was a couple of them. And then it's, of course,
Ryan
Mariners.
Yeah.
Ryan Stanek has just became just freaking Mariano Rivera out of nowhere. He's lighting everyone. No one's getting a hit off him.
Honestly, he is really good. For some reason, he didn't do good at the Mariners. But he had a home run. Crazy season with the Astros a couple years ago.
And I was going to say, he was actually good for the Mariners. He got overused, in my opinion.
Yeah, Scott Service ruined him. But that's not shocking.
But that's whatever. But yes, the Mets starting pitching has been really good. Their bats have been fairly solid. The Phillies just are not getting timely hits is like a big thing too. They're leading a lot of runners on, but I don't know. It's in New York now, and you're up 2-1. If you can win this other one as the Mets fan, and then go back to, Philadelphia is going to be. If you're up 3-1 going back to Philadelphia, I think you're fine.
I'll say, looking at it right now, we all have the Phillies moving forward.
If it's 3-1, the series is over.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just being stupid.
No, that's it.
I'm being dumb because I think that every series should be 7 because the baseball's just stupid. But yes,
I
you're
agree.
right. You're right. My bad. Yep.
But no, exactly my point. It's that's why I say it could be too late. I mean, having starting one more game. I mean, then you go home for one more. I mean, anything happens in a game 5. That's a game 7 situation.
Yeah, 100%. And you're going to throw your best pitchers, and it's just going to be like Wheeler, and then it's going to be your best pitcher. If Wheeler gives up one run, he's out. Next person's in. It's just star after star after star. You can't lose. So it does make it fun.
What'd you just see, Nick?
And I just saw a thing. It was like 72, 75, 77, 72% of game 3 winners in the ALDS structure of a game best of 5. Game 3 winners win the series.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
because I mean, it obviously means you either win the series or you're up 2-1.
It's kind of your make or break game.
You either lose 2 straight or you win 1. That's it.
You have to. All right, well, let's go to the best coast in the country.
The most exciting series so far
by a mile. Yeah. It just has the drama. It
does.
I mean, I know
it's a rivalry everyone wanted to see. Everyone wanted this series.
Because I was talking to my dad about this. Is obviously like in baseball, you have like the best rivalries are the most intense rivalries. You have New York, Boston, number 1 by a mile.
Yeah.
I say number 2 is the Cardinals and Cubs. I think people underrate that they like hate each other.
Historically.
Yeah.
Historically.
Yeah. And they don't like each other. You have the Subway Series, which I don't know if there's a lot of like hate there, but
I feel like it's just a fun series, honestly.
Yeah, people are just kind of like, it's a bragging rights series. But then obviously you have like the Dodgers and the Giants, massive series. But this is like a really underrated one where
it's coming out.
Both teams have kind of been going back and forth at each other for a couple
years now. Well, the Dodgers have always been better. That's the thing is, it's like the Padres are like a young, like annoying little brother.
Yeah.
That's like kind of growing up now 100%. And is like starting to beat the older brother and like.
Yep.
The older brother does not like it.
But yeah. So yeah, it was interesting because game 1.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah. Game 1 was interesting. Obviously, literally Ohtani carried the team offensively.
That 3-run home run.
Yamamoto was terrible
so
too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yamamoto was not great.
Yamamoto was literally a worthless pitcher that game.
Yeah.
They gave up all 5 runs in
and Cease got destroyed.
3 innings. 1. Yes. They both did. Both starters were terrible.
He's been going nuts.
Yeah. But Ohtani literally was like, I'm here for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Game 2, he was not there for the playoffs. But
Yu Darvish was there for game 2. Yu Darvish.
That was a throwback. That was fun.
You picked kind of him as your impact player. You said you were sure between Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish. You weren't sure. Yu Darvish, that was a huge game.
He looked so good.
7 scoreless.
He looked so, and the movement stuff.
Everyone forgets how these guys in particular, Ohtani and Darvish, how they step up in the playoff atmosphere. 100%. Do we remember what they were like how many months ago? Sam, you were with me when we went to go see in the World Baseball Classic.
I was going to say, we went to the championship.
That you guys went too. Like, they step up in that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. They feed off of that.
They love it. They love it. No, 100%.
And they know how to harness it. And it's very apparent. More so.
When I feel like people forget like how good when Yu Darvish was, especially in Texas. I know he was good on the Cubs and the Dodgers.
So good,
but at Texas
he's been around a long time now.
Yeah, and he like in Texas, all I can remember is he has like 4 or 5 games where he's gone into the 9th inning with 2 outs with a like either a perfect game or a no hitter, and then gives up a hit, and then the next batter's an out. Like he's literally could have like 4 no hitters on his resume. He is that good, and he was that good. Like he still is a superstar pitcher.
The funny thing is guys like Manny Machado and Yu Darvish were Dodgers, like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
very briefly.
Like I mean, it wasn't anything they were going to stay around.
They were deadline deals or whatever.
But it's cool because it's
Machado was a deadline deal, and he was just a.
Yu Darvish was there, I think, for just one season.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Why are you calling Hugh? You.
Yeah,
you don't crank that.
You.
It's just you.
You. Just why you?
What you saying?
Crank that. Crank that. Like Huey. Like Huey.
He's a helicopter, okay, Nick. He's a Huey.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he was. Yu Darvish was signed. I think the Cubs' last contractual season,
and then he was a deadline deal still with the Dodgers. But
I think he was before the season, and I think he pitched the full year with the Dodgers, and then was a free agent after.
Yeah.
I think it was 1 full year, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember with him, but I know that Machado was dealt from the Orioles to the Dodgers, and that was a free agent signed with the Padres.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 1 full year. It could have been before the Cubs though, but I thought
it was before the Cubs.
So then maybe he was traded from Texas.
That's so weird. That's so funny. It was in 2017. I could have sworn that was like 2 years ago. I feel old now.
Yeah, it's weird. But it was when him and Kershaw were like bang bang, and it was like okay.
Yeah, I think that's Zach Greinke at that time still too.
I think so. Yeah, the Dodgers had a million.
Goodness
players.
gracious.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, there's just a lot of.
Yeah, he was traded from the Rangers to the Dodgers and then signed with the Cubs.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's flashback.
This series has just been fun. I mean, like game 2, obviously, like Profar had the robbing home run.
That was
and
crazy.
Then he kind of turned around and gave the fans a little bit, which fair play. You should, like, I don't care, like whatever. And the fans should be better. And then they were throwing baseballs and stuff at the players in the outfield. And then Machado had his thing
that was
he threw a ball supposedly at Dave Roberts, and that. It's just there's just
it's
tension.
Chippy. I like it.
It's great.
It's so awesome.
Baseball needs something like this. Because baseball is so boring sometimes.
Yeah, we need some excitement. Also, not that I'm the biggest Manny Machado fan by any means, but I loved his like mid-game speech when he got everybody together in the dugout. Honestly, I've only seen it. I haven't seen it like at all personally. I know it's happened before, but David Ortiz was talking about it. He did it in Game 4 of the World Series. But that's huge.
Yeah,
to need that leader. Have that leader to bring a whole team together in a crucial moment, and then they went on to absolutely dominate that game. I mean, they hit 6 home runs, which ties a playoff record. I mean, they stomped on the Dodgers, who
love him or hate him.
Yeah,
love him or hate him. This is exactly what the Padres saw. However many years ago when they signed him to this contract.
Yeah,
exactly.
They saw the potential. All these guys coming up. They said, this is the guy we want to build around, and he's going to do that, and he's living up to it.
Well, and the thing that I love, too, is he's not... Like, Tatis is playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he's batting over 600 this series so far. Machado has been fine, but, like, hitting-wise... I mean, obviously fielding. We all know that Machado is literally...
Yeah, he hasn't shown up in that way.
The smoothest, best fielder, and he's still been really good. Offensively, you can expect more out of him, but still being that leader when he doesn't really have... that like crazy World Series. I don't even like.
You're not seeing this out of Machado like 4 years ago.
No, that's
like
what I mean.
Orioles Machado, this is not
100%. And so that's where
a
I'm
little
like,
bit.
And you have so many good players like, you know, Profar and Arias and Merrill and all Bogarts and all these guys. And he's the one being like, I'm going to take charge, even knowing I'm struggling, like keep it up because you guys are playing that good, you know? And like I said, Tatis is obviously like game 2, he carried. I mean, would he have 2 home runs or whatever he had? And I don't even know how many RBIs. I think he had 3 or something like that. But still, it's like, it's just going to be an interesting series out of them. And like you said, there's just the chippiness to it to where it's just going to be fun. No matter how it ends, it's just going to be a fun series. And it kind of looks to me like whoever wins this series should be your favorite.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially, I thought, like I said before, I think this is going to be the best series.
You did say that. You said this would be the World Series.
But pretty sure we lost Nick.
You guys have this on?
You're back.
I'm here. Do you have this game on?
We don't.
Are you watching it right now?
Not. I did see it was 1-0.
As soon as we finish wrapping this up, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
This game is going to be crazy.
Yes, I hope so.
And if I could go back and make some changes and go back to our first video, the Padres, they're beating the Dodgers.
I think so.
And
I love to hear it.
And Phillies or Mets. I think it's going to be the Mets as much as I want it to be the Phillies.
I do think so too, honestly.
I think the Padres knocked them down. I think it's going to be a Padres
Mets CS
Tigers World Series.
That would be crazy.
Wow.
Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh!
Or Padres Royals. I mean, I want my Yankees to be there. I'm just being a hater. I'm playing the reverse jinx right now.
Yeah, of course.
But like,
it's gonna be weird,
dude. I'm excited. This is the
postseason
I wanted.
It's a fresh postseason. You still have like your big hitters. You have the historic in like the Yankees and the Dodgers. You have those big hitters. But you also have these teams that are quote unquote smaller markets. Even San Diego is considered a small market team
compared to LA.
Usually, yes, they're spending a ton of money lately, but like historically, they've never done this. But you have these teams like the Royals and Detroit and some of these other guys that are just making this so much more interesting. And it's just very entertaining.
Anything can happen in playoff baseball.
It's very entertaining.
That's what I love about it.
Very entertaining so far.
But yeah, that's kind 100%. Of all I had for this postseason. I know we'll continue through the rest of it, but I mean, we're gonna see. I don't know what happens. I hope the Padres win this series. I think it'll be fun, but it's a good series. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But we'll talk next week a little bit and see what's changed. But thank you, Nick, for coming on, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
Stay safe.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Please like and subscribe to all our social media platforms and make sure to come back to hear more from the Kind of Athletic podcast.